Well, today's going to be a different kind of day. It's going to be spent in the skinning shed.
G'day guys, welcome back to another episode of Trappers, Trails and Tales. So in this little episode we're just going to be in the skinning shed. I'm going to be doing a few Marten ups, so we're going to walk you through the steps that I use, and maybe it'll help you out in the near future. Okay guys, so welcome back. I'm just getting ready to skin these 3 Marten. And before I do that, the first thing I want to do is exercise safety, and by that I mean wear rubber gloves no matter what animal you're skinning. Either be muskrat or marten or beaver, you always wear gloves, because the last thing you want to do is catch a disease or an infection from a cut or whatever while skinning these guys. So the first thing I do when I'm skinning any animals, I take my brush and I give them all a nice little brushing. Get any dirt or any debris off them. With Marten, you got to be a little careful when you're brushing them for gum, pine gum pitch on them. Because what will happen is if you're brushing, you'll tear a whole clump of fur out. So these guys look pretty good. So I'm going to start the skinning process. Okay, so my first cut on a Marten, like any animal that's case skinned, I'm going to make a cut from his hind foot, from the heel up to the base of the tail. We're going to do that on both sides. Again, from the heel, I'm going to take it right to the base of the tail, like so. And do the other side, from the heel. I'm going to take it right to the base. Base of the tail. Next procedure I do is I'll hang them from my skinning gapple, and I'll show you how I work the fur off from there. So the next step I do is I'll work my finger. I'll take my thumbs and I'll work the hide around the hind legs. So it's just a matter of pulling, and so my thumb is popped through the hind leg. I'll take my knife. Put it under this, between the fur. Oh, sorry about that. Between the fur and the meat. What I'll do is I'll just cut down to the top of the foot. And then after that, it's just a matter of working the fur down with your thumb. Again, I'll do the other side. Again, take my thumb, just work it underneath the fur. Pop it through. Take my knife. And cut down to the foot, like so. Next, what I'll do is I'll hang them up on the grapple. By one leg. And again, I'll just use my thumb, work the fur all around. Again, these are very easy critters to skin. Probably next to the muskrat, these are probably about the easiest. So I have the fur all worked around the crotch area. You can see my thumb sticking out. Hopefully you can see it. Take the knife, just cut that right off. Okay, and again just work the fur. Just going to bring the camera a little closer. So you can see I've worked the fur off the crotch area. I've worked my thumb around the back. Pop it through here. Okay, you can see my finger is popped through the tail, between the back and the tail. I'm going to take my knife, do a little bit of cutting around the tail, because the last thing I don't want to tear that tail, the fur off the tailbone. what I like to do is just cut around the base of the tail. What I'm doing is just getting it to kind of start to roll. Guess I should put my glasses on. So you can see right here the fur is starting to roll on the tailbone, and then all I do is I'll take my my tail puller, and at this point I like to put the other leg in the gaffle just to give me a little bit more strength for when I'm pulling down on it, and it just doesn't pull the leg off the critter. Let's touch that up a little bit. Take my tail stripper, put it on the small one. Give it a little squeeze and pull, and you can see the tailbone comes right out of the tail. So again, now all I do now is I'll just take my fingers and I'll work that fur off the carcass. Once you got by the small of the belly here, you can actually just pull, and she'll come right down like so. Now what I do for the front legs, again, I'll just take my thumb, and I'll just work my thumb through between the meat and the fur. Same thing on this side, take my thumb, work it through, and it pops through. At this point I'll put my finger in there and I'll just give it a little tug to bring it down to the ankle joint, or the front foot ankle joint I guess it'd be called. So again, I'll put my fingers in here and just give it a little pull. And you're right down at this joint. Again, I'll take my knife, do a couple little cuts where I want the fur to pull off of the carcass, like so, and I'll just give it a little tug and it pops off. So again, I'm at the joint, a couple little cuts. And it's just a little pull and it pops off. So now it brings us down to the skull. So when you're at the head, all you do is you just grab the fur, just give it a little pull, and it's going to bring it right down to where the ears are. As you can see right here, there's the ear cartridge. And even though on a Marten, even though the ears are on the top of his head, they're actually attached to the back of the skull. So let's see if I can do this without. What I do is I'll just pinch the ears like so, and I'll cut way. Hopefully you can see it. My arm's not in the way, and I'll cut way back. Okay, there's the ear. And right there is where it was attached to the skull. Again, I'll do that on this side. I'll take the ear, I'll pinch it, and cut way back on the skull. So now you're going to be coming down to the eyeballs, so this is all going to be knife work here. Out of the way here, hopefully you can see what I'm doing. What I'm doing is I'm taking my fingers and I'm pinching the fur at the nose there to get it to pull some. Then you're at the ear cartridge, you're at the ear. And these guys are a little freezer burnt just because when I get an overabundance of Marten and I don't have time to prep them all, I don't like skinning them and rolling them up and putting them in the freezer, just due to the fact I did that once. It all around the tail and the hind started to freeze dry, and they were only in there maybe not even a month. So now all my Marten I freeze whole. If I don't have time to do them up, I'll just wrap them in a plastic bag and I'll throw them in the freezer and then just thaw them out whenever. That way they don't freeze or burn. Well, this guy is a little around the nose area, but That's fine. Again, I'm just pinching, applying pressure. Hope I don't have my back to you. Kind of awkward doing it like this for you, but that's fine. So you can see here I've cut the nose. The nose is off the carcass. And all that's attached is the bottom lip right. Oh, sorry. All I have is the bottom lip attached. So I'll just cut that right off because that's going to be cut off anyways whenever you board it. And there's your marten. Very simple, very easy to do. Okay guys, so hopefully that little video helped you out. Again, most of your animals are case skin, so they're basically done like that. Even though some animals might be a little harder to skin, like your raccoon and your coyotes and stuff. But yeah, they're all basically skinned like that. So I'm going to get on this the second marten, and hopefully you enjoyed watching this video, and hope to see you on the next one, the Trappers, Trails, and Tales. Later guys.